All right, good evening, everyone. I'm Professor McCoy. Welcome back. Kingdom Come Deliverance II. Assuming that everything is working. Hello. Hello, everybody. All right. I think we're looking good. Excellent. So, I am once again absolutely cozy streaming tonight because I once again have the window open, and it is as it was in my in the recording of the last episode of my podcast, a delicious 35 degrees Fahrenheit with my window wide open in front of me. So one of those nights. Oh yeah. Gray says, "How am I this week?" I am pretty well. Mostly because I absolutely adore this weather. It's just delightful. It is absolutely spectacular. But otherwise I'm doing pretty well. Just in general, it's not bad. Been busy lately, as you might expect, as you may have noticed from missing streams and whatnot. Kids have been up to all sorts of stuff. So most notably, Saoirse, my oldest, is getting ready for her first confession and first communion. So we had like an interview with our parish priest today. Went well. She was this may be my first indicator, or our first indicator, that she has she might have some pretty severe like testing anxiety, that kind of thing. But I guess she needs practice with it. We'll see. Okay. So, all of my armor and clothes and stuff are profoundly dirty. I can't wash. Oh. Yeah, now I can. Thanks, Matt. Anyway. Otherwise, though, there's been a lot in the news lately. Let's put it that way. Samuel, why are you so utterly sloshed? It's like what? Oh, okay, it's mid-afternoon. It's early afternoon, I guess. Guess you can start drinking at this hour.
Greetings,
really
Henry. What are you all dressed up for?
Accept or refuse what? Huh?
I'm gonna go explore the underground passages that lead to the Italian court. Can you tell me more about them?
What exactly would you like to know?
Where exactly are the tunnels?
They run under most of Italian Street. Some are remnants of the original mine gallery, but other parts are much more recent. So far, only the section from Ruttard Palace to the crypt under the church is accessible.
Well, the church is quite a long way from the court. If the tunnel has collapsed anywhere, we're out of luck.
Right.
Aside from
But
tunneling,
the tunnels were checked
retunneling.
properly before they started building the church. If some part collapsed, we'd be the first to know.
Okay.
Tell me more about this mine gallery.
It's been abandoned for years, but we could use it. According to the drawings, it's very close to the court cellars. Christian of Pisek confirmed it.
That's a very strange coincidence.
My father said King Wenceslas had long suspected he had enemies among his own ranks. Maybe he had an escape route built. He just didn't finish it in time.
Okay.
What was the tunnel to the crypt used
It
for?
would be wise.
It's a safe route for anyone who wants to disappear undetected. Just like the one we took to get here.
Has anyone ever used it?
No one that I know of. The servants used it to dispose of waste.
Waste? What kind?
Oh, come
It
on.
leads from the kitchen, so I'm sure you can imagine.
Could be worse.
Bones, scraps, slops.
Oh, wonderful.
It could be much worse, I suppose.
What exactly am I supposed to be looking for down there? What are we searching for?
We need to find and mark the point where the crypt wall joins with the tunnel. When we break through the wall, only a thin partition will be between us and the cellars of the Italian court.
But how will I know I've found the right place?
You can tell if there's a cavity behind the wall by the sound it makes. The gallery is also damp, so the spot might be a different colour.
So, I'll be knocking on the walls in the dark and looking to see if any is a different shade.
Well, yes. Pretty much.
Thanks for the advice.
Yep, that's dirty work, but
Anything
okay.
else I should know?
You'd better hold your nose and look before your feet when you enter.
All right, then.
Grab my necklace.
I'll try.
Okay, then. Let's go have a look round, shall we? We might... Why can't I pet you? But, oh, might.
You're my
There you go. Yeah, good boy. Anyway, so yeah, there's been a lot in the news lately. Mostly in Minneapolis, because nothing interesting ever happens anywhere but Minneapolis, apparently. Yeah. So yeah, the we've basically been ongoing, let's just broadly say, conflicts between protesters, mostly leftist protesters, and ICE. Oh yeah, Grace, I saw that. Congratulations. So the other one didn't go as well, I assume, or wasn't what you were looking for? Yeah, apartment viewing kind of thing. Oh. Yeah. No, don't need it, but what's that? A riding crop? Looks like a riding crop. Interesting. Can't pick it up. But yeah, I'm at the point where I have to say two completely different things here, having to do with the various civilians, the protesters, killed or potentially murdered by ICE agents. And the reason I have to say these in two completely different ways is because one is from a theoretical standpoint, one's from a practical standpoint. Let's put it that way. In the theoretical sense, in the sense that I'm, professionally equipped to deal with, I'm an ethicist, right? My primary area of academic expertise is metaethics. And then where that touches on applied ethics, I can actually speak, right? I can speak professionally on the matter. And I can just tell you that, yeah, absolutely, the officers were, they murdered the guy, the nurse, Preddy, right? Him. That's a completely unjustified killing. I'm not saying legally. I have no expertise in the law, and I frankly don't care. But frankly, they murdered the guy. That was a gang of armed men who murdered the guy for no good reason. It's really quite simple. Now, the other perspective is the practical angle. From a practical perspective, I care a lot less than I care a lot about a lot of injustices that I would point out. In part, just because if I cared deeply and emotionally about every given injustice that I carefully examine philosophically, it would go insane. Because, again, as an ethicist, I examine a lot of very difficult, very difficult and nasty ethical scenarios like this, all the time, and a lot of those are pretty nasty and kind of horrific. And if I got myself to care all that strongly about a lot of these, I would not have the emotional wherewithal to deal with most of these issues. So I have to. Hey, Baze, how you doing? I'm talking about the Baltimore shootings, particularly the most recent one. But really, it's to the point where I can't, for practical purposes, I choose not to emotionally engage with it all that much. And I'm not going to say that, Preddy was a hero trying to stand up for what's right or whatever, because I actually don't think that is, in fact, the case. I think that he, in fact, was protesting for something rather dumb. in the moment, maybe he did something that was admirable. Maybe he stood up for a woman who was being attacked by a bunch of thugs. Fine. Maybe, but yeah, but it's pretty. It's pretty, not petty, right? That was pretty. In any case, yeah, like I said, it's not... I can't really be all that practically upset. Again, just for pragmatic reasons. And the other reason that I can't be all that upset about it, and that I don't really feel a need to do anything about it, so to speak, as if I could. Well, that's one thing. As if I could, I can't. I'm not in a position to really do anything about such a situation. I'm really not. It's not like I down here in Florida can really have really much sway over what happens all the way over yonder in Minneapolis, way up there in Minnesota. It's not like I even can do anything about that practically. So of course not, you know. Then the other thing, and the other sort of related aspect to this, is that the reason why I don't bring myself to be all that particularly upset about it. I don't. Even if I were in a position to protest the matter or anything like that, that I probably would not expend my efforts doing so, is because, much like in 2020, frankly, I have roughly the same attitude as I did then, which is that what we're seeing over there in Minneapolis is essentially two rival gangs of bad guys having it out with each other. Right, we got basically communist protesters fighting against feds. And neither of those groups are the least bit sympathetic. And both of those groups, I mean, any damage they do to each other is damage that they're not doing to the rest of us.
I believe in God, the Father Almighty, creator of heaven and earth, and in Jesus Christ, his only Son, our Lord, who was conceived by the Holy Spirit and born of the Virgin Mary. He suffered under Pontius Pilate, was crucified, died, and was buried. He descended into hell. On the third day, he rose again. He ascended into heaven and is seated at the right hand of God the Father Almighty. He will come again to judge the living and the dead. I believe in the Holy Spirit, the Holy Catholic Church, the communion of saints, the forgiveness of sins, the resurrection of the body, and life everlasting. Amen.
I thought... Sacra.
You didn't try drinking it, did you?
No, thankfully.
Anyway. Yeah. So that's my perhaps cynical, perhaps overly nuanced take. On the recent ICE murders. I'm not going to go so far as a lot of right-wingers as to say, oh, well, they murdered communists, and communists aren't people, so who cares? Hooray, good for them. Because no, they're still murderers, and they still need to repent or be damned. We'll see, because I don't expect them to repent. But also, on the other hand, I'm not going to go ahead and just jump on the other side, or worse, say, well, he had it coming to him because he was armed, because he had a gun. Like, come on. Why are so many of my right-wing friends being like, well, he was armed at a protest, so obviously he deserved to be shot 10 times in the back after having been disarmed? Like, what the hell? What is wrong with you people? But on the other hand, right, I'm also not going to go full on, oh, well, Thomas Petty, whatever his name is. He was a hero and he died a martyr, and we should lionize him, and we need to erect statues of him and tattoo his name on our bodies, which, by the way, I've been seeing people tattooing the last woman's name? Good, the the lesbian woman who was shot in her car. I've been seeing people tattooing her name on their bodies. Like, seriously, what? I don't even know if I would tattoo the name of an actual martyr on my body. Like, what is going on here? People are insane. Faye says it's a mess. It's just a mess all around, and the worst thing for me is that Tim Walls is clearly ginning up hysteria to distract from his own corruption. I don't think it's going to distract from his own corruption, because this has everything. This whole mass hysteria is obviously because of his corruption. Like, this whole thing is his fault anyway, and I think everyone I think most people do know that, especially people on the right. Like, I don't think he's gonna sufficiently distract. When you're seeing, Gray says, the one you're seeing Thursday is an actual building, which is close to a Walmart, bus terminal, the main mall by my city. Oh, cool. See, that's, again, if what you're going for is convenience and location, then that sounds, from what you've said, that sounds like a lot of what you're going for. So, excellent. Good to hear. I am not reading that imsip because I feel like it is either something hilariously false that I'm not going to say, or if you're not serious, which I suspect you're not, then it's mocking the dead, and I'd rather not do that. As nasty and communistic as as some of these people might have been in life, I'm not all about, dancing on their graves or anything like that. The commie protesters. Okay, yeah. I mean, okay, fine. The commie protesters might not realize that all of this is Walls' fault, but they weren't going to acknowledge that in the first place. So who cares? There's no change there. Honestly, I don't think this is gonna represent any change for anyone. Oh look, Henry's looking all sad. Anyway,
That's a good one.
is it? Okay. Oh, that is a Mormon hymn about Joseph Smith? Interesting. Every time I hear the word martyr, I think of that song. Oh. That's... Wasn't he killed trying to break out of jail? I mean, to be fair, that's the other thing. I will say, I say that in a way of being dismissive towards Joseph Smith, but at the same time, that's not necessarily a bad thing. That can be perfectly justified and perfectly. That can be martyrdom for that matter. Oh man, it does. It affects my shadow. Sweet. Cool. He shot back, so not a martyr. I guess that makes a difference. Yeah, he did not allow himself to be killed, which is I think one of the requirements for martyrdom. I'm not mistaken. And Sim says, I like to think God struck him down in my headcanon. God is sovereign over all, so there's a sense in which that's true, if at the very least. Yeah. I don't think that this chaos is really going to change anyone's mind about anything. Honestly, like most protests don't change anyone's mind about anything, and if anything, they just waste a lot of people's time and put a lot of people's lives at risk, especially in cases like this.
It appears we're supposed to go and mark the path for carrying out the silver.
I thought you were going with Brabant. He boasted that he knows those passageways.
Oh, Imsip asked why you had to wait 2 weeks for a stream or an extra week. I had like I said, I had a lot going on with the kids last week. They've been Sersha in particular has been getting ready for sacraments, And I was, like I said, I was a little late for this week, because she had an interview about her first reconciliation, which went well, which did go well. Um, but it's mostly just been family stuff that we've had stuff that's gone late on a couple of days. In particular, well, actually, I would say just Tuesday and Thursday, but not just Tuesday and Thursday. So it's been going around. It's been a busy last week or so. And then, like I said, Thursday, I think I said this in Discord, that I was mostly because I was editing. I was rushing to get this weekend's podcast out in time. So I wanted to get everything set up so it would actually release on Friday like I was hoping for, because I didn't want to wait until over the weekend, because I had some weekend plans that I didn't want to get in the way, and yada, 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 yada. You know how it goes.
Brabant backed out of it.
Perhaps he was afraid to soil that fancy coat of his.
Or he was just lying again. Well, are we ready to go and take a look underground?
Absolutely. Where is the entrance anyway?
Grace, glad you like the
In the
podcast.
kitchen.
That's a promising start.
Yeah, if anybody has any thoughts or any questions on our John Dewey discussion, feel free. I'll say as well, our book club just finished The Abolition of Man.
Let us go. That smell.
Which I don't like, that the kitchen has a nasty smell. It's unfortunate. Yeah, we just finished The Abolition of Man in our book club, which honestly is incredibly relevant.
It's bloody slippery. Ugh. The nerve of Jiska and Dry Devil. I give them coin, and they send me to wade through shit. Stay close to me. The path might branch off somewhere. We would not want you to get lost.
Has that ever happened to you? Getting lost underground?
Some older boys dragged me into a mine once, and I got lost. I did not find my way out until the night. When Mame saw me, she nearly killed me. Ugh, that stench!
But yeah, a lot of what Lewis criticizes in The Abolition of Man is incredibly closely related.
Schmuck feels the need to hide his stuff down here.
It's incredibly closely related to what we were talking about with John Dewey's model of education and everything like that.
Hey, what is that? There is someone here.
You know what they do to us? The dead. Not they. How did you get here?
Hey,
What are you doing here?
Sitting around, twiddling our thumbs.
Is it not obvious? They are stealing from your Christian brothers.
Can't you be honest and steal from the living?
Why? Folks line up to buy these miraculous relics.
oh yeah, my copy, My Abolition of Man, great book, by the way. Yeah, Baze is absolutely right. Fantastic book. Tell you what, I'll put in the playlist, or maybe a playlist, or maybe individual videos. I forget if I have a playlist for it. I have some classroom discussions of The Abolition of Man, each chapter. If you have not seen them, they're part of my ethics course for the most part. And I recommend checking them out, because they are it's always a fun discussion. Anything we wind up talking about in relation to that book. Excellent book. But yeah, and Adam is also in our book club. Adam, who was on the podcast with me. So, and he unfortunately had not read the third chapter of The Abolition of Man, which is, I think, probably the most relevant. By the time we had that, recorded that podcast, which I almost wish he had, because it kind of would have added another element, another layer to it. But maybe at some point we'll do another episode. We'll go into a little more of that. Imsim, if you want to get in on the next book club, the thread is open. It's under the media tab. It's in the media channel. It's in the media channel on Discord. The next thing we're reading, related to The Abolition of Man, is the third book in C.S. Lewis's Space Trilogy, That Hideous Strength. We're about to start it. We just did the first two, these two, and that one. This is my 3-in-1 big thick copy. But we just read Out of the Silent Planet. Oh, sorry. Out of the Silent Planet and Paralandria, and we took a break for Abolition of Man because it is, from everything I've heard, extremely relevant to That Hideous Strength. So that is something that we're going to. That's what we're doing next. And from what I hear, because this is, by the way, my first time reading the Space Trilogy, which is weird. I can't believe that. I can't believe I haven't read this before, honestly. Especially because I've been teaching the Abolition of Man for like 10 years now. And it's extremely closely related to the themes in this book, or these books. It's technically, again, it's a trilogy. But yeah, it's basically C.S. Lewis's attempt at science fiction, which really turns out to be a lot more fantasy than science fiction, strictly speaking. But there's multiple planets and rocket ships and dystopia, so yeah, it counts. It counts. But yeah, it's good. It is they're good books, at least so far. I've still not read That Hideous Strength, which is the sort of dystopian one. The first one, Out of the Silent Planet, takes place on Mars. The second one, Paralandria, takes place on Venus. And then the third one, That Hideous Strength, takes place back on Earth, but is basically it's a sort of dystopian science fiction where the main character is trying to overcome a diabolical conspiracy of politicians and scientists. Put it that way. I know enough about the series, especially the third book, that I can basically tell you a lot about it, but I haven't read it before. Yeah, Baze, I know, I haven't read it before. I don't know. I just never had a good opportunity to until now with our book club. So, there you go. Never had a good opportunity or excuse to. But I have now, and I'm glad I did. I'm absolutely glad I did. They were both very good. The first two, at least. Yeah, the next... We are starting That Hideous Strength. We're going to be discussing the first 3 chapters this coming Monday. So if anyone is interested, let us know. Baze asks, how's my medieval cosmology? Relatively good. You've seen the video on that, right? I made a video on the subject. Once again, that's something else I'll throw in the description after the stream is over, so check that out if those of you haven't. I basically just went and I made a comparison between the medieval cosmology, primarily of Dante, but not exclusively, and then comparing that to the D&D cosmology of the Forgotten Realms, because there is a favorable comparison between the two. Forgotten Realms does some interesting things that have some parallels in the medieval worldview, but it also does some weird things, primarily having to do with D&D's rather Manichaean alignment system that throws some things off. But yeah. A lot of my knowledge of medieval cosmology comes from reading philosophers, so I don't have that much of a grasp on the sort of mythical medieval cosmology. Or at the popular level as well. I don't have that good of a grasp of either of those. My grasp of both the mythic and the popular level medieval cosmology primarily comes from also C.S. Lewis, from The Discarded Image, as well as few secondary historical sources that I couldn't name just because it's been a while. They were in some stuff I read in graduate history classes years ago. But yeah. A bit ago. Oh yeah, it's very relevant for the Space Trilogy. Yeah, absolutely. And C.S. Lewis absolutely knew his medieval cosmology. It was very cool. It was I had heard someone describe the first book, especially, the Out of the Silent Planet, as modernist astronauts encountering a medieval cosmos. which I think is pretty good description. It's really cool. It's very, very cool. But yeah, I'll like I said, I'll link it in the description base. If you can't find it, or if you want to ask about it later, ask in Discord, and I'll send it to you. Imsimp asked, what's with the, or somebody asked a while ago, what's with the bajillion Discord notifications? Oh no, it was Baze. A bot got in this morning and added everybody, or added a bunch of people in a bunch of different channels. We got it. I think it got swatted. Don't worry, it was a crypto scam, I think, like that. It happens. We problem solved eventually. Anyway, backing up a minute before I keep going on the grave robbers. Walls is hoping they're killed and standing on their corpses. So sad. I disagree. If Walls beats Trump optically, he may get away with it. Glad it's not VP. I don't think that it will do much to massage Walls' reputation. Even if he beats Trump optically. The most it will do is drag Trump down with him, or the Trump administration down with him. It won't, I don't think it'll really do much to actually help his reputation. Now, he might not be prosecuted if it gets bad enough. Or if it goes the right way for him. But he's not getting back into politics. There's no way. There's absolutely no way. His reputation's far too deep in the trash. I don't think it's going to work out. No, he might get away with it from a criminal standpoint, but I think he will anyway, because politicians are almost never prosecuted, let alone convicted for their many heinous crimes. It's just not how things work in our system. That said, the Trump administration and ICE especially, but the Trump administration generally, is making a lot of unforced errors here. They do not need to be making martyrs out of these lunatics. This does not need to happen, and it is absolutely destroying what is left of the reputation of the Trump administration. Like, for the few people who are still on board the Trump train after the Epstein nonsense, this is shaking more people off the Trump train. There's a few diehards still left, and they're mostly, quite frankly, crazy people. And yeah, I know, maybe some of you are watching. I think you're insane at this point. You need to take a good hard look at what's going on. It'll dissolve the country. There isn't a country. What are you talking about? There's an empire. It's not going to dissolve the empire. That would require a very well-armed and well-organized rebellion. Or a massive financial crash. A liquidity crisis, or a de-dollarization followed by a liquidity crisis or something like that. Which could happen. Don't get me wrong, could happen. But no, that's the thing. The U.S. the U.S. federal government does not rely on the consent of the governed anymore. It hasn't for a good long time. Just because it doesn't operate like a country or like a nation, it operates like an empire ruling over 50 provinces plus some territories. Once again, check out my previous stupid little podcast, the one where I talk about Tucker Carlson's monologue, where I kind of talk about the state of the American empire. That I think I probably pretty successfully argue there, but maybe not. Feel free to push back on me on this. But my argument there is that Tucker is saying that we meaning the United States, the nation, are the center of the empire, and all of the places where we exert influence are our satellites, or are essentially our provinces. Whereas I argue that the United States is absolutely an empire, and the center is DC. The provinces are the 50 states, and the sphere of influence goes beyond that, but that's only a sphere of influence. It's not actual control. A part of the empire. Venezuela is not part of the American empire. It is influenced by it, but that's the extent of things. The American empire, we are subjects of the American empire. We're not citizens. The term citizen is kind of a legal fiction for us. Also, yeah, base. Timaeus, Plato's Timaeus is great. Been a little while since I've read it. Maybe I should reread that sometime soon. Empire without an emperor. Yeah, there is something fascinating about that, but it's an administrative empire, which even Rome became at various points. Anyway, so yeah, the grave robbers who are robbing graves not to take valuables, but to make and sell relics of the saints buried here, or the presumed saints buried here. Yeah, that's absolutely sacrilege. Not because reliquaries are sacrilegious, but because one, the sale of blessed objects is sacrilege. And then two, because it is done contrary to the will of those buried. Right? This is not done through the church and through official channels in a way that that would be met with the approval of God and or the saints who are buried here. And so this is an affront to the Lord because it's a desecration of the dead rather than an honoring of the dead.
But that's sacrilege.
And what about selling indulgences? That's outright simony.
That did not happen at this point, I don't think. This was... maybe it was getting there at this point. Okay, it happened, I guess. But also, it was not a common practice, especially not here. This far east, that was not common. That smells like one of those, like... smells like just a bit of chronological snobbery and unthinking anti-Catholicism, which unfortunately is... I don't know. I feel like it has crept a lot more into this game than it did the first one. The first game was largely pious, except for two elements. One, the Father Godwin quest, which, if you recall, I went back and undid. And then certain options within the Sedlitz, the Sasau Monastery quest. But only options, not actually the quest. Yeah, there were only a few even really vaguely or even remotely sacrilegious elements in the first game, whereas this one is starting to get more. I don't know about that. I'm starting to let me put it this way. I'm starting to like the first game more than the second. In some parts, because of its historical and theological attitudes, but also I think that the structure of the narrative of the first game was a lot tighter than this one. And maybe that's just because it didn't have to deal with two regions. Because this game feels kind of disjointed because of that.
Who'd you sell the relics to?
We stay clear of selling. What if someone recognized their grandfather's thumb? That could be awkward.
Lennox, the gravedigger from Sedlitz, sells them for us. It seems more trustworthy coming from him.
Who is this Lennox?
You don't know that numbskull?
He's the gravedigger in Sedlitz. He's not the sharpest, but he helps us make a decent living.
What's decent about it?
We never harmed a living soul. Can you say the same?
I just want a grocery list.
How did you get here?
We hid behind the altar. Then we broke in here at night when the church was closed.
We were gonna wait a while before we got to work. Then we heard a loud noise.
Someone was a bit too keen and closed the lid of the crypt.
So we're kinda trapped here.
Serves you right. That's what you get for disturbing the dead.
Wait, how did you two get in here?
That's what I'd like to know too.
Fuck off.
Suit yourself. We'll beat it out of you then.
Good luck, losers.
I'll show you! Go fuck yourself!
Okay. You okay there, Samuel? You don't look so good. Did he actually take anything or no? No, it doesn't look like it. Some walnuts. Take the walnuts, I guess. Now, was he pulling through all of these skeletons, or is this the beginning of an ossuary? I'm not. Oh, shoot. Samuel, where'd you go? That's a lot of rats. A hoe? I can't just punch... Why can't I just punch the walls? I'm trying to punch the walls.
This is not it.
This looks different. Also, there's a blood stain?
It does not go any further, so it has to be around here somewhere.
Oi,
Take a look around.
that sounds different. We have it.
What did I just draw it with? The
That
chalk?
might
or
do
something?
it.
Come, let us go back. Have you ever been to Kuttenberg? Before all this, I mean.
A long time ago. With Martin.
Is that so?
Aye. He was here on business and brought me along as help. But I didn't see much. Martin met with a customer in the morning, and we drove back home in the evening.
Perhaps we passed on the street and did not even know it.
Maybe. Now, I'm also a little concerned here that the crypt keepers of the monastery or of the church are going to find a couple of corpses down here with sword wounds and might might up their security a bit. Ooh. Yeah. Rule of St. Dismas? Dismas. The thief on the cross? Huh, that's interesting. This is a skill book? Thievery, huh? Thievery. Yeah, okay. Okay, that's very clever. Alright, that is actually quite clever. Rule of St. Dismas. Okay. Can you pick it up a little bit? Do you need a bandage or something? You're going slower than my walking speed. Can we...
Mordekaiser.
Oh, wow, that's... Yeah, it's dark, alright. Though I will say, it's dark, but it's not as absolutely, utterly pitch dark as like mine shafts in the first game if you didn't have a torch. Like, that was intense. Like, that was brutally intense. Because it was just black screen. Completely black. Nothing. Alright, let's go talk to Zizka. Zizka. Don't let it draft.
The Devil's Den is pure luxury, I'll say. But if you'd like to stretch your back or think back on...
All right, let's...
Sam and I walked through the cellar as far as we could and marked the spot where we should dig.
Well done. Brabant has found some men in the meantime. He may refuse to go down tunnels, but he does have his uses. Considering how much coin he promised them all, I reckon they'll do everything they can to make sure we get out alive. Oh, and while we're on the subject, take this. You've done a lot of good work. You deserve it.
Learn something of Groshan. All right, I'll take it. Why not? I only have 50,000 or so.
What now then? Have you come up with a way to get to the legate and persuade him to take us to the Italian court?
I should say so.
Such a bad
listen
idea.
up, all of you. You're done for today, but get plenty of sleep. We'll chase you from your beds early in the morning.
Oh, is that really necessary?
It is. We'll be riding to Lorette's.
Cardinal Pozzo goes to bed with the chickens and gets up before the crack of dawn. After the morning prayer, he eats breakfast together with his retinue, and no one is allowed to disturb them. Most regular folks are asleep at that time, so everything should be nice and quiet when you pay him a visit.
If we don't persuade him to get us into the Italian court, we're fucked. So don't do anything stupid, right?
Is everyone going there?
Everyone except Capon, Brabant, Catherine, and Rosa.
What? Am I just supposed to sit on my ass with the women?
At least you'll get your beauty sleep. That's what you wanted, isn't it?
You said Pozzo has a band of soldiers with him. Wouldn't it be better if we all went?
And leave this place unguarded? That's too risky. Someone has to keep watch in case any uninvited guests come snooping around.
That stands to reason. We cannot leave ces belles dames alone.
Oh. All right then.
Should we be prepared for a fight?
That shouldn't be necessary. Godwin insisted he'll sort things out peacefully with the Cardinal. But I reckon we'll have to twist his arm a bit. And while Godwin's persuading His Eminence to put on a show with us at the Italian court, the Devil, Janosch, Kubienka, and Ada will take his retinue away to the Devil's Den.
Hagen and Urso will be waiting for us there to keep them under guard.
That's it? What use will we be there?
You have to make sure those 5 men armed to the teeth don't get any clever ideas.
We'll scare them a little, but just enough to make them shut up and listen to Godwin.
Exactly. No killing.
All right. Let's get to work.
Report to me tomorrow morning, is that clear?
Okay. Yeah. All right, never mind. Let's just do it. Let's go. Go for it, shall we? I think we are we're basically at the point, or at a point, where we're just gonna be going on through and pressing on ahead through a lot of the
Oh, you booge.
a lot of the main story. I'm a bit hungry. Is there food? Is there a soup pot anywhere? Am I just gonna have to eat food off the damn table? Like a person. Instead of eating food from the pot. There's some bacon and... Bacon and cheese and maybe some chicken, but we'll find out about the chicken. 21, huh? 26! Woo! No. I need up to 11 nourishment. That's it. No. I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna read that book. I'm gonna read that new skill book. Good sinner on the right, fill my coffers tight. Steal thy neighbor's silver, it spoils his... Steal thy neighbor's silver, it spoils his character. That's not... right. Not right at all. Okay, yeah. Hold on, guys. Give me just a moment. Give me just a moment, everybody. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. Saoirse woke up and had to go to the bathroom. Need it, Dad. Anyway. Oh my gosh. All right. So, excuse me. Do we yeah, I think we're about ready to head out and go do this thing. So I want to also. So I was talking about the reactions to the immigration issue. I don't know if I've actually addressed the immigration issue itself, though, which is worth talking about. Because while I do acknowledge, absolutely acknowledge, because I'm not an idiot, that that there is a problem with mass migration of, especially of indigent types, to say, of people who are inclined to be nothing but a burden on society, essentially. Or at least primarily a burden on society. Oh, spinning wheel. Despite that, I don't think that the actions of ICE right now are all that helpful. Mostly just because, again, like I said, it's going to be it's an unforced error. It is losing the propaganda war hard, and it's doing a lot of damage to the administration's image for no good reason. Basically, there's it's not helping. It's not actually leading to mass deportations or anything. This is, by the way, something that Dave Smith has pointed out really well. It's not like oh well, you know, yeah, it's unpopular and all that, but at least we're deporting all of the illegals. Like, no, we're actually not doing that. Deportations are barely up from the Biden administration, and they're down from the Obama administration. Like, like I said, it's not like we're being it's all that successful. Even the trade-off is not. Use the phrase, the juice isn't worth the squeeze. Then again, perhaps perhaps he should avoid using the word juice, given that he's been accused of anti-Semitism so much. Anyway, sorry, that was a bad joke. But the point is that it's not actually helping, right? The whole thing is not actually going to lead to mass deportations. Like, I think kind of obviously. To the contrary, I think what I think that the right approach, the maybe singular right approach, is what Rand Paul has just proposed in the Senate. He just put forward a bill, or I forget if it was a bill or an alteration, an amendment to an existing bill or something like that. But essentially, it is. The idea is the bill is set to prohibit any non-citizen from receiving any welfare payments, any social assistance whatsoever. Honestly, that would solve the problem. That would completely solve the immigration problem in two ways. One, it would stop wasting public money, right? Because a large part of the immigration problem is that the U.S. And especially the federal government, but also state governments, are spending so much money on non-citizens, right? And that's a tremendous drain on the rest of us, actual citizens, people who are born here and such. Or came here legal way, etc. But I think that that's one part of it. But the other aspect is that it will remove the incentive for people to come here who are not going to contribute to society. Right? Now, that isn't to say that no one on any manner of social assistance contributes to society. But it being there provides an incentive for people who do want to be a drain on society, basically who want to run scams like the whole Quality Leering Center thing. It provides a strong incentive for people like that to come here and be parasites, right?
God, where's this day?
And so, well, yeah, I think that is pretty harsh, maybe. That'll probably hurt a lot of people. It'll hurt a lot fewer people in a lot less severe ways than just going in cracking skulls with the jackboots. So if we just cut off literally all social assistance, all government programs, every single government benefit that would apply to any non-citizen, blanket, we would still have immigrants. We would still even have non-citizen immigrants. We would have the equivalent of H-1B or whatever. Immigrant, migrant laborers or whatever, like people here for work, etc. We would have that. That would still exist, but it would be dramatically reduced. And it wouldn't be the people who are more or less a burden on our society. Because people would extensively self-deport and would not just show up for the open spigot of U.S. welfare. So yeah, I think that this would, and because it would also encourage the right kind of immigrants who would come here to be productive, right? Because they would be able to and want to depend on themselves and sustain themselves and contribute something to society, rather than those who want to show up in order to mooch off of society. It would change the dynamic of immigration substantially. It would honestly change it back to what essentially we had up until Smoot-Hawley, I think. Right? The mid-20th century? At least I think. I could be wrong about that. That could be a shift, but I know at least the...
Good evening, Kubyanka.
Fuck, I've got a raging thirst.
Go have a drink. I know at least the early 20th century the sort of Ellis Island waves of Southern European and Eastern European immigrants were largely off of public assistance, just because there wasn't such a welfare system then. That developed later, during and after the Great Depression. Grace asks, what about those in limbo, basically in the system, that haven't been approved yet? I'm not even saying that people can't be approved to immigrate, or approved for a green card, or even approved for citizenship. I'm honestly okay with immigrants becoming citizens. Maybe there needs to be more of a vetting process for that, maybe, but I don't even know about that. Maybe there is, maybe there doesn't. Maybe it can be more easily allowed, even, especially after this is implemented, right? Maybe we can do this, and then eventually maybe we can do some more comprehensive reform to the system of becoming a citizen. But whatever. For now, I think this would basically solve our immediate problems. Because people who are in the process of applying for either legal residence or citizenship, fine, let them continue applying. It's just now this also applies to current recipients as well. Like, maybe you have a sunsetting to social assistance. Like it continues through, I don't know, whatever it is, the current application period, whatever that might be for whatever the assistance program is, or through X date, or X date past, or X number of days past something, or something like that. Maybe it's not just like, cut off tomorrow, because that could genuinely, dramatically hurt a lot of people. But if you sunset these things in a reasonable and responsible way, it gives people a chance to find alternatives. And those alternatives might be self-deportation, or those alternatives might be other forms of social assistance, like non-state, like non-governmental social assistance, communities, churches, etc. Mediating institutions, basically. Or they might it might turn out that a lot of these things are in fact just wasteful. Right? Because I do think that is absolutely the case. It's absolutely the case that a lot of these programs, not everybody, certainly not everybody, but there is a not insignificant portion of people on various welfare programs who would be doing just fine without them. Again, I'm not saying everybody, or maybe not even the majority. I have no way of knowing what percentage that is. But it's not zero. Like, it is not zero. It is well above zero. And so, I think that it's worth considering the practicality of cutting off these programs moving forward. Oh, hi Rosa. Was I just sleeping in your room? I'm gonna go before this looks worse than it is. Wait, what? Huh? Oh, he's in there. Okay, got it. Yeah, as is often the case, I think Rand Paul got the right solution, and he got it pretty easily and pretty thoroughly and pretty correctly. Because, he tends to be pretty good on most things. Train thievery. All right, Hinek.
Can we go to Lorette's now?
I reckon it's too late now, eh? We have to leave before the crack of dawn tomorrow, while it's still dark, understand?
Right, let's wait. It's gonna make me tired? No. Whatever. Oh, it's just here. The
Buono il pollo, eminenza. Così così, eh? Il cibo da queste parti fa un po' cagare. Ma che diavolo? Come cazzo vi permettete? Eh?
Sit the fuck down.
Nos non... Oh, fuck. Nos non cuer... Vos nos... Vos non vulnerabo. Nobis est petitio. No. Proposal. Ragazio. Ita. Ragazio.
Time to cut it short. Fuck! Don't interrupt! Latin is tough when you're sober.
No, don't fucking do it.
Andiamo! Forza! After them! They must get away!
Everything's going to shit. Yep, of course it is.
Figlio di puttana!
Quick! Go!
Figlio di puttana! Spara!
Go! Go!
Spara!
Go!
Stai attento! Spara! La ti ferlava e ti si... Figlio di puttana! Stai attento!
Ka!
La ti ferlava e ti si...
How did that happen? What was I supposed to do? Am I supposed to just shoot him?
Stai attento!
Ka!
Spara!
Go!
Più veloce!
Quick!
Forza! Più veloce! Figlio di puttana! Fate
Quick!
qualcosa!
How am I? He's too fast.
Oh, per un pelo!
Ka!
And that's the edge of the map. I lost.
Figlio di puttana!
Ka!
Figlio di puttana! Più veloce!
Go!
Fate qualcosa!
Ka!
Okay, it's not the edge of the map, I guess.
Quick!
Più veloce!
There he is.
Figlio di puttana!
Did I lose?
Hey up, lad. Keeping all right, are you?
Well, do your best, don't you? That's all you can do, really, isn't it?
Guess in these times, no.
Yeah.
Not sure about this, though, eh? Who's keeping these roads? No one looks after them, you know.
My words exactly. I mean, no one gives a damn until some noble rides along, and then he's surprised.
I think I recall being ahead of his guard.
That way!
Per amor di Dio, mi lascia in pace. Io sono un uomo di chiesa, capite? Non ho fatto nulla. Misericordiosa Vergine Maria! Cosa vi
No.
Vergine Maria? Che rubato un gambe! Aiuto!
Right, let's see him.
Just got.
Chciał zamknąć gęby, to dostał.
That's a lot of blood, Ziska.
Nic mu nie jest lekko otumaniony. No przecież lekko dostał z bańki, no leciutko.
You've killed him.
No przecież nic mu nie zrobiłem.
You fucking killed him, you great Polish ox! You are going straight to hell for that.
Kurwa, no diabła,
Yeah.
tylko nie to.
That's right, hell!
Yeah.
And all those horned demons there will be taking turns with you. You just wait. They're gonna be fighting over your Polish ass.
Przecież nie chciałem, no! Boże, czemu dałeś mi tak tępy łeb?
Because you're wearing a helmet! My god!
Strip them before their clothes get even more soaked in blood. You can undress His Eminence here.
Me?
Why? Because you're the legate now.
At this point, there's no helping matters.
That didn't really work out. What are we going to do now?
You heard, didn't you? We'll get rid of the bodies, get Godwin dressed up, and hope his Legate Act fools the Church Council. It's too late to back out now.
Another plan that'll fall apart at the first opportunity? I ought to be used to it by now.
You know where you can shove that kind of talk. My plans were always foolproof. Till I met you.
Let's get out of here.
Agreed. Our business here is concluded.
Are you going back to Ruthar Palace?
Aye. We have to wash the clothes, get Godwin into them, and hope we don't all end up on the gallows. We still have some time, so if there's something you need to do elsewhere, feel free. I have the feeling there won't be time for anything else once we get started.
You know what?
Wait, is
I
it
need to take care of
this
something
mean
first.
point of no return?
We'll meet at Ruthar Palace.
Okay. Okay. Do I have any other side quests? No, I don't. Well, there is this one. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try and find this one because it is right nearby. I might as well. I'm also going to, because I kind of know what's coming, I'm going to stock up on as much honey as I and Pebbles can carry. Oh, here we go. All of a sudden, they're here. Look at that.
Get over it, quick!
All right. Just pretend I was never here. Come on, finish this.
In the name of King Sigismund, I ought...
Let's have a talk.
I came to talk to you.
What are you on about, yokel? This is a military position, not some tavern where you can blabber nonsense.
He's alone, isn't he?
What's it gonna be? I'm not messing around.
Let's just
Don't
lie.
make this worse than it is. I'm an official. I've come on behalf of the Kuttenberg Council.
Who did you say you are?
Silence! You're illegally blocking the road and collecting money from merchants. The council demands that you immediately allow free passage.
Everyone's
and
yelling at me
disperse.
this whole time.
Well, yes, but well, we're here on direct orders from the king. We even have his letter of safe conduct. Look for yourself.
Show it to me.
Well, that surely won't be necessary, sir.
I'm afraid it will be. The letter. Now.
Fine. Here it is.
My dear devoted and faithful subjects, I, Sigismund of the House of Luxembourg, King of Hungary and Croatia, and Elector of Brandenburg. Good lord, the titles that man has.
Oh, you can read.
Of course. Why else would I want that parchment from you, numbskull? Do entitle the bearer of this writ, blah blah blah.
It's all in order, you see, according to law. You don't need to read further.
Hereby order the bridge over the Teplitz River to be guarded where crossed by the southern route to Yulo. What is the meaning of this?
What? Not me. You certainly...
Shut your mouth, deceiver. Teplitz River, my arse. You're stealing here. Plain as day.
But I didn't know.
Didn't know what? That you're on the road to Kuttenberg and not on a bridge in Hungary, thief?
Oh, it's Yale. It's not the end of the world. Just a few wagons.
That's
Nothing
quite
bad
clever.
happened to anyone.
Now wait, hold on. Did he... Was it actually a writ from Hungary? Or is this just... Because it would be also very clever if Henry just bluffed the hell out of them. Assuming that he can't read.
Where did he get that safe conduct?
Well, we got it from the king, really. That is, our captain did. 4 years ago. Except then he died, and without him, they didn't let us guard anything.
Oh, I see.
Fortunately, we kept the letter, and now we set up from time to time with it to collect money from merchants. And most of them don't know how to read, so when they see the royal seal, they figure it's better to pay and not ask questions.
Very clever.
That's enough. You're coming with me to the city. The executioner will take care of you there.
You can fucking forget about that.
Now you're going to get it. Ha!
Come on, then.
Next.
Oh, my stomach.
Come on.
Must have food poisoning.
No. Hold on. Ooh, that's pretty good. Where are my gloves?
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Did it unequip my gloves again? Hold on. It did. Look at this. It unequipped my gloves again. I hate it when it does that. Basilard. Nothing I need, obviously, but take his money. His fish. Likewise. Let's see. There's just 3 of them. That was not... They really were leaning hard on that cod. And that's where they keep their loot, I guess. They were leaning pretty hard on that that royal writ. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there being only 3 of them means that they realistically could have only really held up like basically single wagons. I don't think they could have done much in terms of like a caravan. But a caravan might have deferred to them if they showed the writ with the royal seal, and no one got close enough to actually read the damn thing. So, yeah. What am I supposed to be doing here? What's my quest supposed to be? Get the writ from the commander. I got the writ. Didn't he hand it to me? Where's it? What now? That's honestly rather intimidating, not gonna lie. They say set up. Well, this is a problem. Uh-huh. Well then. We seem to have, another problem. So the quest is, it appears to still be glitched. No. Hmm. I mean, he was sleeping here. Is it among his possessions over here? No. Well, this is terribly inconvenient. Okay, well, darn. That's annoying. Well, anyway. Right. I'm looking around for marked beehives because I need beehives. Look, dugout, closed mine. Drinking spot. Catwoman. Not that Catwoman. Sedlets. Ladder. Huntsman Lodge. Could go down there. I don't think I've been there. Grabstein Mill. Ruins, interesting site. Vague. Alashov. It's not going to tell me, is it? Sacred tree, sacred stone. Hatch with a skeleton. That's weird. Here's the thief, abandoned barn, Visoka. Waterhole. View of Suchtol. Oh, that's right. We went there at one point. Sat around. It's quite nice. Dollar spot. Desecrated spring. Treasure. Campsite. Cottage. I'm just going to have to look around manually, aren't I? Gonna run manually. Anyway, I'm gonna goof off for a little bit. Kind of wander about looking for beehives. Because I'm gonna actually start this next major part of the main quest next week, because it is, I believe at least, a fairly significant point of no return, and it might even be the end game. But I don't think so. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think it's end game kind of thing. I think it is just a very significant plot development. But I could be wrong. It could be the end game if I'm not. It is possible, or it could just be like, if you remember the first game, how the end game was, I don't know, like 4 or 5 sessions long. Because the end game was it began with the attack on the human camp, and then eventually it devolved into a siege. And then eventually we actually won the siege. But it took like weeks and weeks to actually do it. So it was that. And if you haven't played the first game, or didn't watch me play the first game, then that's something to look forward to when you do. The end game of the first game drags. But that's, again, I think that is mostly just because that is quite realistic. That is more or less how a siege works. A siege is just going to be a very, very long process. Even if you know, like the end of the first game, you do manage to build a substantial siege engine. Because it built a what's going on here?
Stop for a moment, good sir. We're on the search for heretics and sorcerers, and I'd like to ask you some questions. So hear me. I am Brother Adelbert from the Order of Preachers, charged by the Holy Father in Rome to root out all heresy. On our travels through this region, we've heard talk of many sightings of a sorcerer who devotes himself to the dark arts at night. They say he looks like a young man, but his heart is black. He travels the region on a horse, accompanied by a dog, and smells of herbs. He dresses in fine garments to hide the poverty of his soul and character, and tends to be armed.
Stop, noble sir. I'm no fool. I can see I closely resemble the sorcerer.
It probably doesn't help that I'm covered in blood.
But I assure you, it's just a coincidence. Or maybe you've been misled by someone with wicked intentions. Perhaps it's a trick by the very sorcerer you're looking for.
Oh, yes. That is just what an exposed sorcerer would say. But if you are telling the truth, prove your words by offering sincere prayer to our Lord Almighty.
Did you deliberately say you're from the Roman Pope? That was to distance yourself from Benedict of Avignon, wasn't it? It's a sad time for the Mother Church when you have to stress your loyalty to Rome, even to a wayfarer in the middle of Bohemia. Maybe instead of hunting for sorcerers, you should head to the Sedlets Monastery. There, you'll find King Sigismund. You can persuade him to release his brother, the rightful king of the Romans. Then Wenceslas and his brother can go to Rome to receive the imperial crown and put an end to this terrible schism.
You're right. This is a difficult time for the church, but in my judgment, it is not for secular rulers to interfere in this state of affairs. For they are the ones who caused it.
Yeah.
Nevertheless,
fair enough.
I must stay true to my mission. I see you are a man of learning, though. Therefore, you must not be the village sorcerer I have heard about. Please accept my apology. I will continue my search.
Okay. Yeah, I'm
So
actually...
go in peace and be vigilant.
I'm interesting to see what it says about the Western Schism. Because I don't... This is slightly outside my period of expertise, historically speaking. But it's fascinating. Because again, this was okay, by reputation, this is the whole, well, there was a time that there were 3 popes, which is not actually true. It's true that there was 1 pope and 2 anti-popes. It's just, I don't personally know which one was the true pope, but there is an answer to that. There's an objective answer to the question. So let me see. Schism represents blah, blah, blah. The longest of these began in 1378. And the papal see was moved back to Rome from Avignon, where it had been forcibly relocated for 70 years by the King of France, due to disagreements with Roman Church officials. See, that was honestly the problem. Was the relocation of the Holy See to Avignon. That's not right. However, the new Pope of Rome, Urban VI, refused to share power with the cardinals who had elected him. They therefore declared the election invalid and installed a new second Pope, Clement VII, once again based in Avignon. Clement VII was recognized by Scotland, Castile, Aragon, Navarra, and Portugal. Germany, Bohemia, in England and Ireland, Flanders, Poland, Hungary, and Italy sided with Pope Urban VI. After their deaths, Boniface IX took office in Rome, and anti-Pope Benedict VIII in Avignon. Okay, well, it does actually relatively clearly state that Benedict was anti-Pope. So it's not actually straightforward. It's not like playing along with the whole like there were 2 popes or 3 popes at the same time or anything like that. Although it does not actually make it clear that Urban VI was strictly the pope, whereas Clement VII was I believe invalidly elected because there was already a sitting pope who had not resigned. All attempts to restore the unity of the Catholic Church were unsuccessful. The crisis of faith strongly affected society at the time, and the voices of church critics such as John Wycliffe and Jan Hus grew stronger. Yeah, this in large part led to the Protestant Reformation, unfortunately. In 1409, there was even a move by the cardinals to declare both popes invalid and elect a third, John the 23rd. However, neither pope was relegated. Yeah, you can't just do that. Which at that point, again, John the 23rd, despite being appointed by the College of Cardinals, was an anti-pope because there was already a sitting pope, and you can't just do that. You cannot depose a pope. You can get one to resign through his own will without coercion, but that's it. Only after the Council of Constance, 1414 to 1418, convened by Sigismund of Luxembourg and John the 23rd, were there to be reforms of the Church. It resulted in the deposition of all 3 popes, and in 1417, the election of a new pope who was based in Rome. The schism was brought to an end. Yeah, I think this is a pretty fair explanation. I'm actually curious now. Was there ever a valid Clement VII there had to have been a valid Benedict the 13th. And presumably a John the... Yeah, there was a John the 23rd. And it wasn't him. I gotta look this up now. I'm very curious. Hold on. Pope Clement VII. Yeah. Wow, that is actually quite cool. There was a Clement VII in 1523. So he did. So another pope did basically make that really, really definitive statement that no, the previous, the anti-pope Clement VII, was an anti-pope. Now, of course, this was, I mean, yeah, geez, yeah, for 1523, that was like really, really shortly into the Reformation. That was the Protestant Revolt. Ouch. Yeah, that's rough. What about Benedict the 13th? There had to have been one, right? 1724, so that took a while for somebody to take the name. Interesting. What about John the 23rd? I know John the 23rd. But I forget who John the 23rd was and when. Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. The presider in the Second Vatican Council, that's right. That's why. Okay. That's why. Sure. Okay, so yeah, that's very cool. There were in fact popes that took all of the various titles which had been taken by these various anti-popes. Very cool. I dig it.
For the minions of hell are on the hunt for souls in this region. Jesus Christ be praised.
Jesus Christ be praised. Amen. Hold on. What is that buff I have? Oh, Lawbreaker. Okay. You're a wanted criminal. You won't make it easy for them because you have bonuses. Ooh, geez. All right. Very cool. Excellent. Excellent. I love that he got such a precise description of me, but I have a feeling that was just describing me by looking and smelling me. By looking at me and smelling. Smelling all the flowers. Because I have the flower power perk activated, which means I'm carrying a whole bunch of herbs and flowers. Which gives me a buff to charisma, I think, or something like that. Anyway, I'm going to keep looking so that I can find that... oh, there's deer. Got him. Yeah. That was a good shot. Very good shot. Take that back. Loin. I'll take that. And of course, Mutt can have it. Unless I find a drying rack. I wonder if I can use a drying rack for meat. In which case, honestly, I should just take all of it, shouldn't I? And go to the nearest drying rack and see if I can dry this. Anyway. I actually should look more into the history of the Western Schism, because it was schism, however you want to say it. Because it's a fascinating period of late medieval history, I would say. I would say late medieval, not early modern. Strictly speaking.
Greetings.
Because there is the okay, so it absolutely led to some of the I guess you'd say the disasters of modernity, of early modernity. But it was not itself part of modernity. Can I go in there? Am I not allowed? It's... Oh, this is like the innkeeper's... That's... Okay. You have to lock the part of the Devil's Den. Why am I not allowed in this part of the Devil's Den? I should be. I'm allowed everywhere, aren't I? It's gonna... Alright. All of this. Dry it all. It does actually work. Wow, very nice. I'm so glad that works. Excellent. And that also means it's not stolen anymore, right? Yeah. Yeah, look at that. Ooh, that's nice. I should get a ton more. I should go hunting. That's what I'm gonna do. Instead of desperately trying to find honey. Excellent. All right. Excellent. Anyway. So, moving from talking about the Western Schism, and then I kind of want to also talk about what I take to be the sort of border point between the Middle Ages and modernity. The funeral for the Middle Ages and the birth of modernity. I tend to take... So this is an idea from... I believe it's from Bradley Birzer, Dr. Brad Birzer, who I really like a lot of his work. He's an historian primarily, but does all sorts of stuff. But he puts the shift between medieval and modern history at the martyrdom of St. Thomas More. Because it is at that point that we see a shift from a sort of political parity between the church and the state to the state, as typified by Henry, asserting its absolute power over the church.
Greetings to you. What can I do for you, sir?
I need a bath.
Desperately.
I can smell it from here.
I need a hot bath and my clothing cleaned.
Excellent. Pay up and we can get started.
I'll gladly pay you.
Excellent. I'm sure you'll be very satisfied.
But it was essentially where King Henry
God bless you, sir.
exerted his power over the authority of the church and declared, for the first time, kind of royal absolutism, which again was a novelty at the time. Now, a lot of people don't think of this, right? A lot of people think of the Middle Ages, of medieval kings, as sort of the formation of absolute monarchy. But that's absolutely not the case. Use hunting arrows for this. Alright, let's go. Go a hunting. A hunting we will go. A hunting we will go. Right, so this is also something that Hans Hermann Hoppe, in some of his historical writings, notably Democracy, the God That Failed, and then also in From Aristocracy to Monarchy to Democracy, A Tale of Economic and Political Decay, or something like that. Which is a short work, but a very good one. One that he basically pointed out was a fascinating shift from the feudal monarchies of the Middle Ages to the absolute monarchies of the early modern period. Because early modern monarchies were absolutist. Right? The king claimed absolute authority, unlike in the medieval period where he couldn't actually get anything like...
Come here.
Damn it. Okay, here's another one. Got him. And that's primarily just because of what we would call mediating institutions or layers of power and authority.
Mutt!
Let me get another one. See if I can bag one more. Oh, he didn't die?
Sick!
Mutt, finish him off! Not gonna be able to, is he? Damn. What about that deer? There was a deer hunting spot, wasn't there? No, it was way over. Let's see what that was. Anyway, yeah, it was I believe it was Dr. Berzer who said something like that. It was with the. Oh, sorry, I'm over here with a deserter. What are you doing here?
Fuck off before I kill you.
Yeah, I'm not trying to start anything over here. I'm just curious as to what you're doing here. Can we chat? Look, I'm fine with you deserting. I just kind of want to recruit you. Is that cool or? Oh, okay, whatever. Guess not. What a shame. This has to be a plot point, right? There's got to be a thing to this. Oh. Got him. He was already dead. My bad. Any more? Can I bag another one? I go back and dry all this meat. Another one up there. It'd be hard to shoot from here, but I might be able to do it on the move, which isn't ideal. Oop, got him. Yeah. Alright, that'll have to do. That'll have to do. Anyway, he basically said that it was with the death of St. Thomas More that the Middle Ages died. And so began the modern period. Actually, you know what? I can just fast travel, can't I? Why am I doing this? Might as well, right? Yeah. I'm gonna dry all this meat. I should get 222 honey. I don't need any of this. What am I even doing? I'm just going to drop those. I don't actually need this. Or this. It's an obscene amount of meat. God, that's so much jerky. Alright, sick. I dig it. 3 whole boars worth of jerky is an amazing amount of food. Dude. To be fair, I want that much jerky. Insane. Alright, how much is my horse carrying now? Oh god, I can hold almost 100 more pounds of stuff. I could do some more hunting. It would be hilariously stupid. But I could. Oh, that's a lot of food. That's a lot of food, man. How about we go and kill a deer or two? Bulls. Boar. The roe deer. Roe. Or boar. There's no elk. Is there elk? There's elk, right? Roe. Deer. Wolves. Deer. Wolves. Roe. I thought there was elk. Am I crazy? Were there not elk hunting spots? It was all just deer. They're still showing up here if I zoom out. No, I guess no elk. That's fine, though. Catch a deer or two. Alright, I'll bag a deer or two before we're done for the night. How about that? I'm at the Devil's Den. Right over here. Yeah. There we go. Down the river. What are you guys doing? Guys, whatever. Go ahead. Have your fun. Losers. Ah, there's one. See it. Oh, there's two. Oh, shoot. That was a bad shot. Very bad shot. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, that was a bad shot. Very bad. Dang it. Hail Mary. Oh, okay. Woo! That was better. That was much better. Stag. Excellent. Excellent. I'm already encumbered. Jeez, okay. Is that one? Maybe not. Well, there's a few across the river. That's going to be hard to shoot, but I think I can do it. Well, this one's coming back. These two are both coming back. I missed. Dang it. Oh. You're right there. There we go. Excellent shot. Alright, that'll do. That'll do. I'll take the heart from Mutt. You can eat that. Hind. What is a hind? Is that like a doe? Is it different from a doe?
Here you go. Take
Go,
it.
buddy. Eat the heart, buddy. Yeah, boy. There's a good boy. Pebbles? Pebble. There you are. Hi, Pebbles. Oh. Uh-oh. I'm gonna have to hope that this gets substantially lighter after I dry it. Oh my. Oh shoot, I also can't fast travel while encumbered, but it's fine, it's right up the river, it's not that far. I can see the Devil's Den from here, I'm just gonna go. Alright, I'm just gonna dry the rest of this. Put as much as I can carry on the horse on pebbles. Maybe keep a little bit in my inventory, because I can afford to carry a little bit. And then I think I'm gonna wrap it for the night. We'll end a little early, that's fine. But that means we are gonna be starting the major point of no return next week, it looks like. Means I should probably make a separate save. Just in case. You know. If ever I want to come back to the free roam part of the game. Huh? Who's a-looking for me? Nuh-uh. I disagree. I refuse to be looked for.
What are you poking around that door for, eh?
Hi there, Blacksmith. Nothing. Nothing at all. I'm gonna have to go elsewhere. I'm just gonna have to wait for him to wander off. Aren't I? Oh well. I got time. I can sit around for a bit. Right there. Huh. If I need to sharpen any of my swords. Yeah, I can sharpen my nice sword a little bit.
This one is sharpened already.
Just strop right along the edge just a bit. Which, again, strictly speaking, stropping, to strop a blade, you shouldn't use a wheel like that. But whatever. Typically, stropping a blade, you would use a leather, something or the equivalent. You can use a steel, like a rat tail kind of steel, but you would not use a wheel, a sharpening wheel like that. Absolutely not. I mean, actually, I don't know. Thinking about it, you might use a wheel. You just wouldn't be spinning the thing, right? You can just run the blade along the edge to strop and polish the edge of it. But whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm using these terms loosely, I should say. Ooh, Peebles. Wow. Yeah, that'll do it. That will do it. The Shahrukh bridle is not actually as good as the Dragon Chafron. Nothing really is as good as the Dragon one, is it? I could get rid of some of this junk. But whatever. I have enough to feed an army, I think. Yeah, I think I have enough food to feed an army. Oh my god. Oh. Jesus. I have like almost 200 pounds of honey. Oh boy. Oh, that's insane. Wow. Wow. That's obscene. Plus a whole bunch of meat. Whole bunch of meat. I swear, this is going to be useful, I hope. I hope it actually... I really hope it actually lets me use these. Oh, gosh. Okay. Alright, anything else I gotta do? I don't think so. I think I'm all set at the moment. Yeah, I'm all good. Oh, I should switch arrows. I should switch back. There we go. I'm switching back. Excellent. Yeah, there we go. We only have 5 more poisoned, but that's fine. Bane poison, yeah. Doublemaker on my bolts. On those bolts. Both bolts. Bloody knife. Whose belly was this stabbed into? I forget. Whatever, I have Brunswick's dagger. That's good. Alright, I think that's all. I'm gonna actually sleep and save the proper way.
At your service, sir.
So I can actually make a save slot. And then we are gonna wrap for the night. Now, I'll foreshadow a little bit, because we are getting back to Expedition 33 on Thursday, and we are heading towards the end of the game. And by heading towards the end of the game, I mean we are giving up on the Simon fight, for which I half-heartedly apologize, let's say. I've looked into it. Simon, the Simon fight, is apparently the most difficult part of the entire game, bar none. And that also means that part of why it's so difficult is because it requires. Part of why it's so difficult is that it fully requires the entire party, and it recommends that the entire party, like not just your active 3, but all 5. The recommended level for fighting Simon is 90 plus for all 5. And if you recall, I'm at around, what is it? Not quite 80 for my good party members, and way lower than that for the rest. There's absolutely no way, even on game journalist mode, even if I, keep it on game journalist mode, there's absolutely no way I'm going to be able to beat this guy. It is not just, if you recall from last time, it was, I got to the second stage of the boss fight, and it was getting close to midnight. I was like, fuck it, I can't do this. We'll try next time. Apparently, there are 3 stages to the boss fight. I can't do it. I can't do it. Also, I will say that, from what I've seen, from what I've heard, if you actually grind to the point where you can beat Simon, the actual end boss of the game, Renoir, you can basically one-shot him. It's hilariously anticlimactic, and I'd kind of like to avoid that. I'm already to the point where I'm over-leveled for the final boss, for the final level. So, yeah. So that's that. I'm not gonna beat Simon on stream. Sorry. What I might do is I'm probably gonna go back to the game at some point because it's really fun. It is a good game. I might do a lot more grinding and get to the point where I can beat Simon, and I'll just record me beating Simon and have that as its own video way down the line. Not yet. We'll see. We'll see. That's what we're gonna do about it. Anyway, that's Thursday. So we're actually going back to Lumiere. We are going to head towards the final boss, head towards Renoir, have Alicia / Maëlle confront her real-world father, try to save the painting, and we'll figure out the ending of this game. I'm going to try, because I know there's 2 major endings. I'm going to try what I can to save prior to the end, so that we can play through both endings. Because I do kind of want to see and comment on both endings if possible. Because, again, the game is deeply, deeply philosophical. And so there's something worth commenting on for both. Innocent Pass, what game do I think I'll play after this? After this or after Expedition 33? Because the next game I want to play, after whichever one we finish first, which is probably going to be Expedition 33, I want to play the original Fable. Which I have. I got it from GOG, Great Old Games at some point. So I'd like to go back and play the original Fable. And I think I have the whole trilogy, if I'm not mistaken. So I'd like to do that. I'd like to go back and play Fable 1, 2, 3. I'm open to suggestions for another game, and I'm leaning towards something more futuristic or science fiction related for another game to be parallel with it. Very Monarchist series. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And I will say, okay, small commentary bit before I wrap up. From what I have seen of the Fable remake, the new Fable remake thing that's apparently supposed to come out this year sometime, I don't like it. I don't like what I see. Yeah, I don't like what I see. The main reason I don't like what I see is that it is... it seems to be doing that thing that a lot of modern audience kind of media does, where it's kind of inverting and making a mockery of the original. Where and this mostly just comes down to, one, a lot of the like humor and stuff is like ultra cringe millennial shit that is just the least sincerity. Excuse me, the least amount of sincerity you could possibly muster for a story, especially for a fairy tale. A fable, if you will. But then the other thing too is the replacement of the extremely strict morality system that that was really the hallmark of the original trilogy, with a purely, like in the words of the creators, a purely subjective reputation system, which I think just completely defeats the purpose of making it a Fable game. Like, completely. Like, I despise that. Absolutely despise that. I'm probably... I don't know. I don't know. I'm probably not going to play it on release. I might play it after finishing the original trilogy, which, by the way, I have not actually played the original Fable trilogy. So I might be convinced to play the new one. Maybe if you guys, pitch in a bit and help me get the thing. Because I would be open to commenting on it. I don't expect to enjoy it. So I'll need to be compensated, for for dragging myself through that. More Star Wars, maybe? I'm trying to think of what game would be good. So I've done Jedi Outcast and Jedi Academy. I've done Jedi Outcast. I've done Jedi. I could play Jedi Survivor on stream. The new Cal Kestis one, the most recent one. I do have a let's call it an unofficial copy of that game. But I will say it was...
Why the hell do they pour the beer on the table?
I will say it's not bad, but it's not as good as the first one, and the first one is not as good as people make it out to be. Yeah, it was the new RPG. Not Jedi Outcast. Jedi Outcast was the Kyle Katarn one from, 2001. Because I also played KOTOR 1 and KOTOR 2 on stream. It was a while ago, but I played them. I've also played the entire Mass Effect series. Though, I don't know, might be worth redoing. I have a largely new audience at this point, and I do have the Legendary Edition now. Worth a thought. Yeah, Fallen Order, I played Fallen Order on stream a couple years ago, and I complained heartily about the ending. Maybe I'll clip that. Maybe I'll clip my thoughts on the ending. Because I'll also say that the ending to Jedi Survivor was, if anything, worse. Fallen Order came out in... It was a long while ago. I think it was 2021, maybe? So it was probably going on 5 years ago. Yes, I was playing Wind Waker when I was talking about Jedi Survivor. If you can find the episode, let me know. Because I was playing Jedi Survivor off stream. Because I wanted to get a feel for it and see if it would be worth playing on stream, and I kind of decided no, but I'll think about it. I will think about it. I did not like it as much. It had some issues. Game design. Actual gameplay issues it had. I also found out that one of the narrative consultants on both Jedi games was an old friend of mine from college. I talked about this a little bit. Who was the president of my campus's Students for Democratic Society, and he hasn't changed a bit, from what I can tell. He was a gay race communist then, and gay race communist now. Anyway, though, I LARPed with the guy way back in the day. But yeah, anyway, yeah, I'll think about it. Yeah, the ending, and honestly, the major twist to Jedi Survivor was very bad. It was very bad. There were a lot of elements to it that I didn't like. Also, just honestly, the world design I did not care for. The major stuff on Kobo, the main sort of hub planet, because there's only, I think there's a planet, there's Kobo, there's a moon, there's a base, and then there's the end stage, the end level, and that's it. And almost everything is on Kobo, on this one main planet, and because of that, it has 17 different environments. all within walking distance of each other, which is just absurd. I hate that. I hate when, especially modern games do that. Because you could get away with that sort of thing with older games. And just, like, hand-wave it about hardware limitations or such. Because it reminds me of, say, Metroid Prime in a bad way. Because I think that was one of the biggest problems I had with Metroid Prime at the time, is that all of these radically different environments on Talon 4 were just so radically close to each other. Wait, which game is a 7.8 out of 10? Jedi Survivor? Well, first of all, reviewers are retarded. So there's that. Write that down. Second of all, though, most game reviewers grade on an American GPA scale. So a 7.8 out of 10 is a C, maybe a C+, which tracks. That tracks. The exploration and combat were actually pretty good. Like, the actual gameplay, pretty good. The characters were more or less well written. It's just the narrative was trash. The level design was mediocre. So, I would call it, like, it was an average game. It was a 5 or a 6 on a proper, like, 1 to 10 using all 1 through 10. Sorry, 0 through 10 scale. Fallen Order was about an 8.5. I would not call it an 8.5, but I would call it a B. A B is fair. Mid B. Like, on a proper scale, I'd call it a 6, maybe even close to a 7. Most of the game was actually really good, except the ending. That's the thing, is I'm willing to... Well, remember, whenever you look at game reviews, think of them as an American GPA scale. Old School Battlefront 2 was 9 out of 10. I would say that's actually correct. And not just on a game review scale. I would say that is a 9 out of 10 game. Game was excellent. The problem with Battlefront, and I like to play the Battlefront 2, the old Battlefront 2 campaign, the 2002 2 or 3, whatever it was. I'd like to play that on stream. But the problem is that it uses a ton of the actual original musical score, and every single one of my streams would get copyright claimed. Every single one, without exception. 100%. I know it would. If a single stream campaign... No, not really. It would probably take 2, maybe... Probably take 2. Because I would stop to talk. You know I'd stop to talk. It might even take 3, depending on how much I talked. Like, right now, I've been sitting here talking and yapping at you guys for 20 minutes. Yeah, you know. Yeah. The problem... Now, to be fair, if you actually just search back through, I did do a Galactic Conquest live stream at one point when I was having technical difficulties with something else. So there's that. I almost want to try something silly, and see if I could dig some philosophy out of it. Something like Destroy All Humans. Destroy All Humans 1 and 2, I have the remastered versions. They're actually really good. I actually really enjoyed them. They're very fun. Sandboxy, but very fun. I'm wondering if there is enough to squeeze some philosophy out of that. I don't know, maybe. I'll think about it. Again, I have some thoughts. I have plenty to think about. I have some options. Imzip asked if I should reactivate with the Knights. He should reactivate with the Knights of Columbus. I met up with them at Vision Mass last week, but the council is 30 minutes from my house. In college, it was the very same situation. 30 minutes is not much, honestly. That's a lot for urbanites, but it's not a lot for me. Like, our geographical home parish is about a 20-minute drive. So, there you go. And it's actually a lot farther for a lot of people in the parish. We are far from the furthest away. In large part because it's kind of a magnet parish, because it's because they do the traditional Latin Mass, as well as it being actually, good. So, well managed and good priests. I mean, that's true. You'd rather drive in rural highways than city traffic. Anyone sane would. Not everyone is sane.
Oh well. What are you gonna do? Now just this.
Anyway, yeah, give it some thought. Give it some thought. I'm honestly... I'm not even above. I'm not even just ruling out or replaying stuff, because I replay games all the time if they're good. So I'm not above replaying something that I've already played before if it's for a relatively mostly new audience. Because I'll probably have some new insights to it as well. Worth thinking about. Being able to carry a sword under the auspices of the church is worth a bit of a drive, in Klaus's humble opinion. That's yeah, that's true. That is true. I'll grant you that. It's worth a bit of a drive. I'm thinking about joining the Knights of Columbus at our parish. We've got a pretty active group. I'm sure they're going to be selling us pretty hard on it. On the camping trip we've got a Knights of Columbus camping trip, father-son camping trip in a couple of weeks. So that'll be a lot of fun. And I don't know, maybe I'll end up joining up. Who knows? Hey, Klaus. Hi. Oh, my controller turned off. Oh, you do still have the insurance too. Okay, well, there you go. I mean, if you're already paying for it, you might as well just reactivate and become involved. Why not? Why not? In that case. But yeah, anyway, yeah, it's I'm also pretty active now in the Troops of St. George, which is a it's basically like a father-son fraternity group that's Catholic focused. It's more or less a replacement for Boy Scouts. Something like that. There's a great chapter at our parish. So it's good. Great. Anyway, I am gonna call it there. It is it's not quite midnight, so Klaus can't razz me about it. But it is 11:30, and I got an early day tomorrow. I'm still busy. Still busy, guys. I'm sorry. I will be back on Thursday for Expedition 33. I don't know if I will be on time. I might be a bit late again. We'll see. We'll see how things are. But yeah, I'll let you know, and keep an eye on the Discord, keep an eye on the Twitter, and yada yada yada. This semester, I'm not teaching. Not teaching this semester, unfortunately. I will keep you guys posted. We'll see. I've got some things that I might be doing in that realm, but we'll see. We'll see how things go. But yeah. Anyway, thanks for joining me tonight. I'll see you guys next time. Have a wonderful evening. See you on Thursday. Keep an eye out for more podcast episodes. I'm not sure what I'm going to do about a podcast episode for next weekend, because I'm going to be in the woods. So I might pre-schedule it or something. We'll see. Anyway, good night, everyone. I'll see you all next time. Until then, remember, don't be safe, be well. More importantly, be good. Oh no, my controller's off. There we go. All right. Good night, everybody.